The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi everybody, thanks for joining today. My name is Andrew Shikyar. I lead marketing here at FIDO Alliance. It's great to have so many people on the webinar today. I think this really follows the types of enthusiasm we've seen at events around the world. Last week we were at Cloud Identity Summit in Chicago. We also had a team at an event called Digital Wallet Summit in Bangalore. So we're getting very positive feedback from industry at large that there's a need and appetite for standardized approach to simpler, stronger authentication. Part of the beauty of building a standard is that it can apply to a variety of markets. And so today, we're going to explore how FIDO authentication pertains to the gaming industry. Before we get started, just a few housekeeping items. This webinar will be recorded, and the slides and replay will be posted afterwards. So it usually takes us 24 to 36 hours to get that done. You will receive a follow-up email once that is live. Secondly, we want this to be interactive, but particularly at the end of the session. So in your GoToWebinar client, there is a question box or question widget. Use that to ask questions. We'll try to answer them midstream if possible. Otherwise, we'll table them and take them in the Q&A at the end, or we can answer them in follow-up. So please don't hesitate to ask questions, but be patient as we aim to answer them. Last but not least, there's a survey that you'll see at the end of the webinar. We'd ask that you please complete the survey. Your feedback is very important to us as it really helps inform our webinar program moving forward. So with that, let's get started. So quickly, here's what we'll cover today. I will run you through a quick overview of FIDO for those of you who are not familiar with what we're doing. I know we have a lot of newcomers who are more in the gaming space, the authentication space, so it'll be good to kind of set the stage with some background on FIDO Alliance. Then we have Dave Singh from Intel. He'll talk about Intel Online Connect and how that pertains to gaming and as a solution for FIDO authentication. We'll then hear from Sean Lin from Synaptics to talk about how their fingerprint sensor is being applied to help authenticate gamers on a global scale. Last but not least, we'll leave time for Q&A. Again, we'll look for those questions to come in through the chat box. So, as I mentioned, many of you may not be familiar with FIDO, so let's kick things off with a refresher on FIDO Alliance. So some top-level facts. FIDO is an alliance of over 250 organizations from around the world that's focused on a relatively narrow slice of the identity stack, which is authentication standards. This allows us to come up with solutions that can apply to a wide variety of use cases and a wide variety of companies. Our members today provide the world's largest ecosystem for standards-based authentication. We have over 350 FIDO certified solutions that protect over 3.5 billion user accounts worldwide. Here you see some of our members. All right, this is actually the logos from our board of directors. You'll see a good cross-section of leaders in telecom, finance, hardware, and software. The rest of our membership, including the sponsor, associate, and liaison members, reflects this blend of service providers bring requirements into FIDO and technology providers who are helping deliver the products that are bringing FIDO authentication to market. We also have several government members, including representatives from the US, UK, German, and Australian governments. So why FIDO? Why are all these companies working together in the alliance? Well, for starters, and at our very core, the world has a password problem. Passwords, as we know, are tough for users. We have a usability challenge. They're clumsy, hard to remember. And if you're doing it right, they need to be changed all the time. Alternatively, you use a password such as password, which leaves both the user and the enterprise at great risk. As a result, we're seeing huge security challenges. Right? So the vast majority of data breaches involve weak credentials. And we see this problem growing and growing. We've seen an increase in phishing attacks year over year. We've seen an increase in data breaches. So despite the fact that everyone knows this is a problem, the industry has yet to turn the corner on coming up with a solution. And that's what FIDO is aiming to do. So in the past, people have looked at OTPs as a way to improve passwords, right? So OTPs are an improvement. They improve security, certainly, as it is a second factor. But there's still usability challenges, and they're still spoofable and phishable, which is why you've seen groups like NIST actually deprecate SMS OTPs as a means of second factor authentication. So ultimately, what we have isn't just a password problem, it's a shared secrets problem. And this is a problem that FIDO is aiming to solve. And when FIDO's members came together, we decided we need a new model. This is the FIDO authentication model, and this is why we've had hundreds of companies come together to work on developing the FIDO standards and ecosystem. So I won't get into great depth on the technology today. We have lots of resources on our website, including archived webinars that get deeper into technology. But at a very high level, let's compare and contrast old authentication and FIDO authentication. This is how traditional authentication has worked. It's a shared secret model where a user authenticates themselves online by presenting a human-readable shared secret, also known as a password, generally. Or it could also be a machine-generated challenge, like an OTP or something like that. But FIDO authentication works is fundamentally different. We've introduced something called the FIDO Authenticator, which allows users to authenticate locally to their device by establishing a private key, whether that's a second factor token or if you're using a biometric on a mobile device. The authenticator then authenticates the user leveraging public key cryptography and communication with the service provider. This protects user privacy. It keeps the authenticating credential off of the server, which also prevents against credential harvesting, which is a fundamental challenge and a fundamental actual asset that a lot of hackers are targeting when you hear about major data breaches. Ultimately, a lot of the goals of those data breaches is to harvest credentials, then reuse those credentials through credential stuffing and web crawling, which leads to reuse and more damage to the end user than the initial breach itself. So FIDO's goal is to come to simpler, stronger authentication. It's a nifty tagline, but ultimately that's really key to changing the authentication landscape. Low friction is absolutely critical, and you see here through the FIDO approach, we reduce reliance on passwords. There's a single gesture to log on. It works with a wide array of devices that are out there already. If you're using a second factor token, you can use that same FIDO security key across the sites, and it's fast and convenient. And related to gaming, this is particularly critical, right? The last thing users should have to think about is security. They just want to play their game and network with their gaming friends. FIDO security keys come in a variety of easy-to-use form factors, and from a biometric standpoint, we're open to any biometric modality. So while you'll hear about fingerprints later today, you should note this could just as easily be a voice or face biometric, or it could be a wearable device functioning as a second factor security key for the user. So we're simpler and we're stronger. So FIDO again is based on public key cryptography. The key stay on the device. There's no third party in the protocol, meaning that it's not possible to track users across sites, which helps protect user privacy. And the biometrics, if used, never leave the device, right? So it's interesting going to some conferences and talking to people. There's a lot of excitement around biometrics, but there's also some fear that once your biometrics are used, you can lose them, and that they can be hacked and stolen by nefarious actors. One of the key things about the FIDO approach for biometric authentication is that the biometrics do not go to a central repository, which protects the integrity of those biometrics and protects the end user, which is a very important distinguishing factor. So at the end of the day, FIDO's created a new paradigm. It's simpler and it's stronger. It blends the best of security and usability, which is why we're seeing so much adoption in the marketplace. So creating standards isn't enough. One of the most critical programs that FIDO has is the FIDO Certified program, where we test for conformance to the specifications that we've created and also true interoperability. So we don't have many slides on FIDO Certified today, but there are over 350 FIDO Certified solutions on market, which allows for competition in the marketplace, allows for innovation in the marketplace, allows for flexibility in solutions, and it allows for FIDO authentication to very quickly be deployed in a variety of devices, which allows service providers to address a large marketplace. So shown on this slide are some of the FIDO certified devices that are on market today. So you see a wide array of Galaxy and Samsung handsets based on the Qualcomm chipset, Qualcomm platform. You see devices from Fujitsu, Sony, Lenovo, LG, Sharp, Huawei, and many more. In addition to these Android devices, you can also deploy FIDO authentication on iOS. So we have providers like Knock Knock Labs and others who have SDKs that allow you to deploy a FIDO client with your iOS apps. And there's many common apps in market today. In the United States, for example, the eBay consumer app, the Bank of America consumer app, all are using FIDO authentication behind the scenes. In addition to the mobile device, we have second factor tokens, so FIDO security keys. This is what Google turns to provide stronger authentication for end users. This is also what Facebook uses. So you see tokens here from vendors, market leaders such as Yubico, Facia and Vasco, and many more. This is based on an external device that allows you to validate that you're in possession of the computer or the device that you're logging in from to validate second factor authentication. And beyond that, we're working actively to push FIDO deeper into the Windows and web ecosystems. So on the Windows side of things, Microsoft has been very out front in their commitment to support the FIDO 2 specifications, which are forthcoming in Windows 10 at the core of Windows Hello. Additionally, you'll hear from Intel shortly about their Intel Online Connect solution, which essentially embeds FIDO authentication at the chipset into emerging laptops from OEMs, including Lenovo with their Yoga 910. Another key initiative that we're having is pushing FIDO into the web. So we're working with W3C to push the FIDO 2 APIs into the web authentication framework. And that work group got done with their work. In the next couple of months, you'll see web authentication being finalized and being supported in leading browsers from Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, and Mozilla Firefox, meaning that FIDO support will be natively available in leading web browsers towards the end of this year. And the world's taken notice, right? I mentioned Facebook, I mentioned Google, but here you see, several other companies that have deployed FIDO authentication that is protecting nearly 4 billion user accounts worldwide. So this includes both, again, the second factor use case and the biometric use case, and this is just a sampling of companies that have deployed FIDO authentication. And so we think that as the addressable market continues to expand through the work that's happening on the platform side, on the web side, this slide will become too crowded to present in future webinars. So that was a whirlwind tour through FIDO authentication. I didn't want to take up too much time. Again, if you have questions on FIDO, we have added resources on the website. And so I hope that today's webinar gives you a better feel for FIDO's applicability in a variety of spaces, but particularly in gaming. So with that, I'm happy to turn things over to Dave Singh of Intel, who will walk you through Intel's Online Connect solution and how it pertains to the gaming marketplace. Dave.
Hello, everyone. Dave Singh here. I'm with the Platform Security Division at Intel, driving client security capabilities for PC devices, and I have a specific focus on the secure online authentication. I'm the product owner for the capability that we call Intel Online Connect. I'll talk to you about today. I guess no surprise, gaming is a key focus for Intel and an exciting growth opportunity for us. We love gaming because both the gaming industry and the players really over and over demonstrate an insatiable appetite for leading edge technology as a way to deliver, more realistic and immersive experiences. And so obviously it's Intel's mission to deliver the compute that's necessary to feed that cycle and take gaming to the next level, not only through providing faster graphics, new immersive I/O experiences, CPU processing power, but also through support and delivery of activities like e-sporting events such as the Intel Extreme Masters. So making gaming really a key focus for what we're doing. And so, maybe no surprise with the explosive growth in gaming and the flow of money for and into games that it's not only gamers that have taken notice, but hackers have taken notice as well and join in on the activity. And these hackers, as I'm sure you know, are constantly on the prowl and looking for ways to compromise user accounts. And so that's where now, in addition to providing the performance capability to deliver the best experience on gaming, we're also working to ensure that the platform has the right capabilities that it needs to deliver a secure experience. If you look at account authentication for gamers, primarily the account authentication remains username and password based, and sometimes almost jarringly old-fashioned type interfaces that really go against what the leading edge experience that game companies are looking to deliver and that gamers are expecting when they're interacting, right? The login is typically the very first interaction that a gamer has with the application, and we want to look for ways to make that better, more exciting, easier to use, and more secure. Obviously, with an old-fashioned user-based username and password-based mechanism for logging in, it puts both the gamers and the platforms at risk of being hacked, being phished, of losing gamer credentials, and also, more and more importantly, putting the in-game assets themselves at risk. So this has become an area of focus for us to make sure that the gaming experience and the access to that experience becomes simple and secure. And so we've been working closely with FIDO and Synaptics and folks in the industry to deliver a better, more secure user experience. And we're looking specifically to change the game with the Intel Online Connect product. Next slide, please. So with Intel Online Connect, what Intel has done is implement the simpler and stronger authentication capabilities that Andrew described. The Intel Online Connect solution is optimized for Windows 10 PCs, and it works across browsers and desktop applications without requiring sort of additional plugins for the browsers themselves. And really the key benefit that Intel as the hardware provider delivers is hardware-based protection in the CPU silicon itself. So we've been looking to simplify the customer user experience, and to do that, the solution builds on top of the native biometric framework that's built into the latest Windows 10 operating system. And that really makes it easier for gamers to get the most out of the features that their PC already have. So not building a new registration or enrollment mechanism, instead taking advantage of what's already in the PC to do easier, more secure login to device itself, and now extending that to websites and applications through the Intel Online Connect process. What that allows gamers to do is access their accounts and make in-game purchases and transactions with confidence, and using, in the case that the Synaptics will talk about a little bit, the simplicity of the touch of a finger. Right? We take advantage of security-optimized hardware such as touch sensors in the latest and greatest PCs to make it simple, easy, and secure. As Andrew discussed, the FIDO certified tokens have also flourished, and we're using those as a simple and secure way to protect gamers and game developers by delivering confidence that accounts that are being accessed by authorized users are also being accessed from those recognized device, right? And this helps to thwart, again, sort of the attacks such as account phishing, right? With that, we get with those tokens, we've essentially embedded that into the platform. And in that case, then what you get with the Intel Online Connect solution and the FIDO U2F token capability is hardware enhanced protected security, greater end user convenience, right? Having that protection built in, and broad deployability, as this is a solution that we are now making available across Intel Core platforms. Early on, we at Intel made the decision to make the solution a FIDO solution, and we did that really for the deployability of the specification itself. So Intel Online Connect is FIDO certified. It implements the hardware-enhanced biometric authentication and the user presence detection for Windows 10 devices to make it simple and straightforward to implement for relying parties. Because it's FIDO certified, there's no proprietary APIs or anything that needs to be implemented. So once you've implemented the FIDO specification in your application or in your website, it now works seamlessly with the Intel Online Connect solution to be able to deliver the biometric and the device-based hardware-protected authentications. Right? So with biometric in place and device and user presence in place, all of those can be implemented with the Intel Online Connect solution, working with OEMs to ensure that Intel Online Connect is an integrated component of new Windows 10 based core platforms, so that these PCs come to gamers being FIDO ready and strong authentication ready out of the box. Right? The user then visits your website or your application, and when that web application is enabled for FIDO, those users can instantly take advantage of the capabilities that have been built into their PC. Okay. Next slide, please. So that's the super high level introduction to Intel Online Connect. We are eager to talk with you directly about the capabilities and about strong authentication and how to take advantage of the capabilities of the latest and greatest Intel Core platforms with Intel Online Connect. So after the website, feel free to reach out to Kabibi from our Security Alliance team, and Kabibi can give you all the details for how to get your hands on the solution itself and take advantage of it for your applications.
Okay, thank you, Dave. That was great. So hopefully that gives everyone a feel for one approach to providing FIDO authentication to end users and Intel's efforts therein. I'd now like to turn things over to Sean Lin at Synaptics, who will give you some added perspective from another FIDO member, Synaptics, on Fingerprint as biometric authentication for the gaming industry. Sean, take it away.
All right. Hi, everyone. This is Sean. So I'm from Synaptics HSD department, which is Human Interface System Department, Marketing. So I've been working on the fingerprint sensor application on the, especially on the PC laptop platform. Okay. So the area I'm focused on is basically it's a fingerprint sensor application, just as I mentioned earlier. So I want to talk about why fingerprint and what's the key attribute, characteristic, importance for successful fingerprint biometric technology can be commercialized. So there are a few the key factor and we need to be considered. The first is the biometric the attribute has to be universal, which means what is universal means? Which means our user must have the biometric pattern or the features. So everyone has it, no exception. So that's the key factor. Also, we want it to be the unique, which is has to be uniquely identify the user can be authorized or unauthorized. So which means your fingerprint sensor is unique from all the rest of the people, their fingerprint sensor. So we also need the biometric has to be permanent, which means this identity has to be remain substantially unchanged over the time. A year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years shouldn't be a big difference. So that's the key factor as well, and has to be reproducible, which means it's work every time you use it. You use this time in the morning, afternoon, tomorrow. It's the same pattern. We need to be unobtrusive as well, which means it has to be convenient. Shouldn't cause the user any discomfort. So has to be easy and convenient to use. Then this solution also has to be measurable, which means the data can be very convenient to storage and retrieve and comparison. So it's easy to implement. Also has been timely. Timely means you need to take a reasonable time to be able to authenticate and finish the authentication. You cannot like take 1 minute, 10 minutes to finish the whole process. That won't be convenient for the user. The last one we talk about is spoofing resistant. Spoof. So the user can be use your identity, fingerprint sensor, or other like a iris or your voice to access your account or the important information. Then again, so the people also be able to spoof. So the spoof resistance has to be considered into the one of the key factor. So among the given all the consideration we mentioned above, so so far in current industry, fingerprint sensor, fingerprint is the most widely has been used, the biometric solution for mobile and the PC laptop platform. So here is the one interesting use case for in the gaming system or gaming industry. Probably it's not has been widely applied, but we believe this is maybe a good feature. The friends in the gaming industry can be considered and use it. So I'll tell a little bit of a story, begin with this slides. So I have a colleague. So he really is like is a serious gamer. He play game a lot. So he has an Xbox. He also happen like play the Roblox. So just I use Roblox as example. If you know the Roblox, there is a virtual current has been used in the Roblox called Robux. So he has the account. He has his the credit card information connect to his account on his Xbox. So one day his niece visit him and asks, so hey uncle, I want to play the Roblox on your Xbox. Can I do that? So he want to be a nice uncle. So okay, yeah, go ahead. So the young girl just she's using his account and access the Roblox game and start to play the game. And also the young girl understand, oh, by the way, if you want to be a very powerful user in the Roblox, you need to buy more some digital goods to strengthen your capability. So you need a Robux. Then so the colleague just warned the niece, say, hey, so don't buy anything. All you can do just play the game. then yeah, the girl hear that also, but again, the colleague is still not very comfortable because he was always next to the girl and see how her play the game. So that's the concern. If there's other way can able to block the niece to accidentally or on purpose to using my colleagues' credit card information to purchase the online digital goods, then my friend can stay away, do his own stuff, don't need to worry about that stuff. So that's the place fingerprint sensor can jump in and play the helper here. So you still can able to have your good friends, good relatives, share your game account to play the game. However, they are not able to do the cash transaction or by using your credit card information without your fingerprint sensor approval. So that's the good case. Then if the gaming, the new game can consider into those kind of private information access, require fingerprint to do another layer, second layer authentication that will help the difficult situation my colleague run into. All right. So this is another use case. It's already happened in the gaming industry as smurfing. I believe all you experts here, you know what smurfing means. Basically, that means you are pretending someone else. You already have an account in this game, and you actually, not only that, you are the expert for playing this game. For some reason, you just want to try to, it's not really pleasant or it's an indecent purpose. You want to fake to someone else, open another account, play as just pretend you are a newbie in this game. Most of the people kind of just want to make a joke or try to embarrass other gamers, saying, "Oh, you are losing the newbie." So that's kind of making a joke. But the more serious, the things significant issue we consider as a fingerprint sensor provider is what happened if the game involved a cash prize tournament. So for the gaming tournament, you have a different level, advanced level, medium level, entry level, that kind of different level, and we have a different price that someone in the advanced level pretend and to be entry level to win the prize there. So that's not what the game industry or the tournament want to see that happen. We believe fingerprint sensor also can be the solution to be applied used in this scenario. So the game, if they can try to ask every player to register their fingerprint, so everyone has their unique fingerprint. So which means you cannot use the same fingerprint to open another account or multiple accounts. So once you use your fingerprint to open an account, then that's the account, the only account you are allowed to open and stick with this game. So that's the case. We believe we can fingerprint can be a good helper to prevent smurfing. So I just spend some time give people a food of salt. So hey, how the fingerprint sensor can be applied in the gaming. I use this opportunity also give you a little bit of introduction. What's the Synaptics fingerprint solution is doing. So few bullets talk about the beauty, the advantage of the biometric solution. Normal password. So Andrew and Dave, they also emphasize the importance of a passwordless, and also the current problem, people still using the password. so easy to get stolen, and you may forget sometime when you need it. So all kind of inconvenience. And the fingerprint sensor biometric is something unique about you. You can, just like I mentioned earlier, it's a reproducible. It's a permanent reproducible. Same authentication you can apply on multiple device, your laptop, your phone, everywhere who is capable to use a fingerprint as a authenticator tool. Then it's a simple, fast, and convenient. That's what I just mentioned. Single gesture, just touch and unlock. Can also be a second factor. U2F, that's what FIDO emphasized. So the biometric fingerprint sensor can play a role here. Then, so in order to have a more secure architecture, basically the way for do the matching, so you have a fingerprint sensor, so the fingerprint data can be matched in the host, like on the PC end, also can be matched in the sensor itself. So some fingerprint sensor provider, just like Synaptics, we have a small microcontroller come with the sensor, so you can do the matching on the sensor. That's more secure. All the fingerprint critical data is stored in the device, not even shared in the host. So it's the same concept as the FIDO emphasized. So all the private biometric information is still local and won't be shared in public or in the cloud. So be able to authenticate locally, and through the FIDO can transact globally. We work with, we joined the FIDO. Synaptics is one of the FIDO co-founder, basically. Play a big role in the FIDO Alliance, and we have we care about the ecosystem. We have a common worldwide solution applied to all the industry. All right. So as a matter of fact, so we already have a mass production solution applied in the gaming peripheral. I believe Thermaltake is a very popular gaming company in the industry. So there is one model, Thermaltake, using Synaptics fingerprint sensor to implant the fingerprint sensor in the mouse, the gaming mouse, as the picture shown here. Then with that kind of solution, just like Dave mentioned earlier, so we have the Win 10, since Microsoft Win 10, using the fingerprint sensor biometric authentication to enroll and unlock the screen has been like a built-in default solution. For those system, for those old PC, they don't have a built-in fingerprint sensor, then so they can use this kind of mouse, and with the fingerprint sensor feature there, be able to leverage the Win 10 biometric unlock solution. So that's, again, it's enjoy the fast and secure passwordless experience. Okay, so besides be able to use the fingerprint sensor playing in the mouse, you can just go ahead use the USB dongle, just external the fingerprint sensor through the USB, play as a USB dongle to insert to the PC or laptop. Then you still can just using the dongle and doing the take advantage of the fingerprint sensor, be able to access Win 10. That's the minimum, the basic feature. And again, if the game be able to leverage the advantage of a biometric, such as a fingerprint sensor, this kind of dongle can be applied and leverage use in any game who require the fingerprint sensor enrollment. All right, that's all the information material I try to share today.
Okay, thanks, Sean, and thanks to both our panelists, Dave and Sean. Thank you all for joining. I hope that those of you who joined us from the gaming space, learn more about the imperative of strong authentication along with details on a few FIDO certified solutions that can help address this challenge. And likewise, I know many of you are more horizontally focused on authentication. I hope those of you came to appreciate some of the nuances of the gaming market. I, for one, wouldn't have thought that Smurfing meant personalizing a newbie gamer, so it was very enlightening. With that, let's open up for Q&A. As I mentioned before, there is a question box in your GoToWebinar client where you can ask things. So the first one, also Adam Powers has joined us. Adam is our technical director at FIDO Alliance. Adam, I'm going to send this first question to you. If you could take yourself off mute. Question is FIDO authentication enough to verify in-game purchases? Can the game service know what level of authentication FIDO has provided?
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you everyone for joining today, and pleasure to be here. So part of the FIDO protocol is the transaction confirmation that happens within the protocol that can securely authenticate transactions. So after a user is already logged into a service, you can continue to re-authenticate, as well as authenticating specific transactions. So this can be in-game downloadable content or things like that, upgrades to services, new expansion packs, things like that. And FIDO will basically use the same mechanisms that it uses for authentication to securely send a message of what's being purchased, and the user can see that before actually authenticating through FIDO to approve that purchase. Along with that, one of the big services that FIDO has developed is the metadata service. So there's actually a online server that provides information about all the different authenticators in the ecosystem. And it provides information about what biometrics are using, what level of security they have, how they've been implemented, who the vendor is, things like that. And for any sort of FIDO transaction, the unique identifier of the authenticator can be used in conjunction with that metadata service to get information about the authenticator. So that metadata service enables gaming providers and online services of generally any type to understand what type of device is being used for authentication, which is great from a security perspective, but also perhaps useful for understanding how secure those devices are and whether those transactions should be trusted, or there should be some sort of additional multi-factor authentication that should be going on. So hopefully that answers that question.
Okay. Very good. That's actually the only question we had in queue. I addressed a few previously. Are there any other questions? If so, now's the time to put them in the question box. Okay. Very good. So thanks everybody for joining today. This concludes our webinar. Please do take a couple seconds to fill out the survey when you log off. And if you have any follow-up questions, you can email us at info@fidoalliance.org. And please stay tuned for future webinars from FIDO Alliance. Thank you very much.